System boot sequence initialized. Welcome to the Explainer. Today, we're conducting a cybernetic autopsy on audio signal processing. As a sound designer, my approach to tone is precise, direct, and honestly, almost surgical. We aren't just aimlessly plugging in pedals today. No. We're stripping the audio signal entirely down to its bare, raw logic. Let's get right into it. Our objective for this assembly is absolutely clear. We're not just playing a guitar. We are building a machine using raw signal logic. Look, you might think you need some insanely complex, latency-heavy polyphonic MIDI pickup or a massive digital modeling rig to generate these kinds of synthetic textures. Well, you don't. By actually understanding the underlying physics of these circuits, we can literally force analog components to synthesize an entirely new audio organism.
Part 1. The mathematics of the octave.
Okay, to build a synthesizer out of a traditional audio signal, we have to start by stabilizing the foundation of the waveform. Think of it like pouring concrete. Let's look at the raw mathematics of the octave pedal. In acoustics, an octave represents a perfect 2-to-1 frequency ratio. So to drop your signal by exactly 1 octave, the fundamental wavelength has to be doubled. Devices like the classic Boss OC2 or the Electro-Harmonix microsynth, they act as direct dividers. They take your input, convert it into a rigid rectangular clock signal, and then use flip-flop circuits to mathematically divide that frequency by 2. They're not just pitching you down, they are literally synthesizing a brand new waveform based entirely on your original pitch.
So here is the absolutely crucial point. The octave below must come before anything else in your chain. Why? Because to stabilize the signal and accurately track the pitch parameters, the octave circuit demands a pure, uncorrupted fundamental frequency. If you feed it dirt, distortion, or modulation first, you introduce complex harmonics and phase cancellation. The flip-flop circuit is going to panic, resulting in glitchy, messy, unstable tracking. We must stabilize the foundation first, before the waveform gets mutilated.
Part 2. Gated fuzz, the heart.
Right, now that our foundation is totally stable, we move right into the mutation phase. And we do this using a gated fuzz. Now, fuzz is already an extreme effect, but when we manipulate the fuzz gate, we completely transform it into a synthesizer. By starving the voltage, which you'll often hear called sag, and rebiasing the transistor network, the circuit actually begins to fail, but it fails in a highly controlled, calculated manner. Instead of a smooth, linear note decay, the fuzz gate violently truncates the natural sustain. It needs a minimum volume threshold just to open, and the second your signal drops below that, it slams shut. This perfectly mimics the sharp attack and rapid decay of an analog synthesizer's envelope. We are literally crushing a smooth sine wave into a harsh, sputtering square wave.
And as you'll see here, this brilliantly illustrates the physics of that mutation. Take a look at the power spectrogram. Notice those vertical lines interrupting the dark bands of frequency? That is visual, undeniable proof of the gated fuzz sputter behavior. The gate is violently severing the signal periodically, literally turning a vibrating string into a square wave oscillator. This intense, hard clipping is exactly the kind of harmonically rich, aggressive waveform that classic analog synths use as their primary sound source.
Moving to Part 3, modulation and the filter.
Okay, so we've got our stable sub-octave and our massively distorted square wave. Now it's time to refine the beast. We do this by deploying a filter, specifically an envelope filter or even a traditional wah pedal. But listen, we're not using it to play funk rhythms here. We're deploying it as a highly surgical cutoff filter. You see, in a real analog synthesizer, the voltage-controlled filter, or VCF, is the primary component that defines its whole sonic signature.
For example, a Mug-style transistor ladder filter uses a very steep 24 decibels per octave low-pass slope to carve out frequencies, giving you that dark, liquid tone everyone loves. Now, a standard wah pedal is essentially a resonant bandpass filter. So when we slowly sweep the treadle of a wah, or let an envelope filter respond dynamically to our pick attack, it acts exactly like the cutoff knob on an analog synth. It aggressively slices through that incredibly dense, gated square wave, emphasizing specific harmonics while choking off others. This is what gives our static machine a dynamic, breathing, almost vocal quality.
Which brings us to Part 4, the forbidden order.
To achieve maximum synthetic effect, we have to intentionally break the traditional rules. Let's look at standard conventions for a second. Traditional pedalboard logic dictates that anything detecting your envelope, like an auto wah or a traditional wah, should go before your distortion. Why? Because this provides the filter with the absolute most accurate tracking of your clean signal's dynamics.
But we are executing an override routing. In our machine, the filter must come after the distortion. So why are we doing this? Well, a filter can only remove or emphasize the frequencies that are actually fed into it. A clean guitar signal has relatively few upper harmonics. But remember our gated fuzz? It just generated a massive, dense wall of square wave harmonics. By placing the filter post-fuzz, we suddenly have an infinitely wider, richer harmonic spectrum to sweep across. We aren't just filtering a guitar anymore, we are shaping the final timbre of a fully synthesized tone.
This quote right here from an experienced sound design community perfectly nails our hacked signal flow logic. A wah before distortion is basically a rock cliché, but a wah after a gated fuzz, that is a massive, resonant, cybernetic synth sweep. Think of it this way. The distortion creates the raw clay, and the post-filter sculpts it into its final form.
So let's review. All parameters are locked. The fundamental is mathematically stabilized. The voltage is thoroughly starved. The gate is fiercely clamping the sustain into a harsh square wave, and the filter is primed to sweep the cutoff. The system override is officially complete. The organism is ready to be unleashed.
Many people think you need a MIDI pickup for this. I just showed you that you only need signal logic. If you manage to get a more bizarre sound than this in your setup, send me the link to your video here in the comments. I want to see who came closest. Near a machine,